In any software project important enough for sponsors to spend significant amounts of money on, the debate over how to handle non-functional requirements, or NFRs, sooner or later comes to a head. Many people who sponsor, manage, and execute development of software systems simply do not understand NFRs. This results in increased risk to software projects, agile or not. This video explains NFRs in the context of requirements management and how to address them in agile projects. Hello, and welcome to Agile Cheetah. I'm Frank Velazquez. I explain Agile and DevOps concepts so that you can successfully apply them within your team or across your organization. If you want to improve how your organization develops software, manages software systems development, or fosters organizational agility, you've come to the right place. Sounds like what you're looking for? Then please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. And now, on with the video. Requirements management is the process of documenting, analyzing, tracking, prioritizing, and controlling changes to system requirements. Development teams accomplish this work in collaboration with project sponsors, stakeholders, customers, and end users, what we like to call the stakeholder community. Since software systems change and evolve throughout their useful life, requirements management is a continuous activity, not just something that occurs during development projects. A requirement is a singular documented physical or functional need that a solution, functional or procedural, aims to satisfy. Requirements specify the things a solution must do and how well it must do them. The former are functional requirements, the latter are non-functional requirements. Functional requirements are intuitive for most people. People feel comfortable voicing what they need a solution to do for them. The tricky part is characterizing how well a solution must do those things. This points to how the solution performs or behaves while performing useful work for customers and end users. For example, a bottle capping machine at a soda plant designed to cap 10 bottles per minute will be woefully inadequate if the plant produces 50,000 bottles of soda per day. Assuming the plant operates 24 hours a day, the machine would need to cap bottles at a rate of at least 35 bottles per minute just to keep up. That rate may still be too slow in relation to other plant operations and distribution schedules. No matter how well that capping machine caps bottles, the functional requirement, it must do so at an adequate throughput rate, the number of bottles per minute. A software solution example might entail the number of concurrent users an application must support. Perhaps the application experiences large swings in the number of users depending on circumstances. For example, a retail sales website will likely see surges in users around Black Friday. No matter how well that application handles normal traffic, it must be designed to handle such surges seamlessly. This is when we get into discussions about how the solution behaves. In software engineering, we often characterize solution behavior in terms of ilities. Examples of NFR ilities include attributes like usability, maintainability, scalability, availability, extensibility, security, and portability. These ilities apply to the entire system or solution, not just to individual system features or components. However, each and every part of the system contributes to or takes away from its overall behavior. One underperforming component could degrade the behavior of an entire system. Thus, it is crucial to take NFRs into consideration when designing and implementing system features and components. The more frequently development teams integrate them into the larger system and put them through integration and regression testing, the better. NFRs constrain functional requirements. In other words, the capabilities designed and developed to address functional requirements must also support or contribute to meeting NFRs at the system level. Common sources of NFRs include official standards, laws, regulations, and policies, and technical specifications. For example, operating systems, required middleware, and hardware specifications. There is no fundamental difference between how Agile and traditional software projects handle NFRs. In either context, we handle NFRs by writing well-written NFRs and ensuring functional requirements address relevant performance and behavioral attributes. A well-written NFR describes a system-level behavior or performance expectation, both qualitatively and quantitatively. There is no universally accepted standard way to write NFRs. However, the following guidelines should help. Start with the outcome in mind by providing context about the requirement. For example, why is scalability a desirable goal for our system? The answer is tied to the business or mission processes the system supports. What does scalability look like from a business or mission perspective? Quantitatively, we must define what the right degree of scalability is. For example, how many concurrent users per day, hours, minutes, or seconds? What data volumes can we expect? How much fluctuation in users and data volumes can we expect? When? How often? The more specific about our needs, the better functional requirements that realized NFRs will define. Most important, when defining any type of requirement, focus on identifying needs rather than on defining solution approaches or designs. Functional requirements realize NFRs. Agile functional requirements adhere to the INVEST criteria. As functional requirements, user stories are independent, negotiable, valuable, estimable, in other words, capable of being estimated, small, and testable. Agile functional requirements are customer and end user centric. They are written from the perspective of what customers and end users need rather than from the point of view of what the system will provide. To make this discussion more concrete, I will use the user story requirements format. A user story includes a description of what the user needs to accomplish an outcome and acceptance criteria that explain the specific behavior and performance characteristics the resulting functionality must exhibit to comply with requirements. The de facto standard format for user stories is the following. As a user, role, or automated client, I want some capability so that desired outcome. This simple and concise statement tells us which specific user, role, or automated client needs the capability or feature. User stories serve as reminders for future conversations. They're not meant to document requirements in detail. User stories tell us the types of users we need to talk to or learn more about. The business or mission capability the user needs. User stories are written from the perspective of the business or mission capability a user needs to accomplish a desired outcome. The resulting software functionality will enable the accomplishment of that business or mission outcome. The desired business or mission outcome the capability or feature will enable. User stories answer the tangible business or mission outcome that will be achieved as a result of using the implemented feature. The outcome is often the execution of a business or mission process or task. The second part of a well-written user story are acceptance criteria. This is where the NFR attributes defined earlier constrain the design and implementation of the resulting functionality. Acceptance criteria are the results or outcomes the functionality must achieve when executed. We demonstrate adherence to acceptance criteria through testing. So, in essence, acceptance criteria are test criteria for the user story. Well-written acceptance criteria are testable. That means that the result is not left to interpretation. The feature either delivered expected results or did not. The behavior and performance the feature demonstrates should contribute or not degrade the overall system-level behavior and performance documented by NFRs. Here's an example. We start with the following NFR. The system shall implement authentication and authorization functionality as per corporate security policy XYZ. This NFR spawns some number of functional requirements. In this case, we write our functional requirements as user stories. One of those stories is the following. As a system administrator, I need to restrict user access to files so that authenticated users only have access to files for which they have access permissions. A user story is not complete without acceptance criteria. The system administrator can grant specific authorized users access to specific libraries or documents. The system administrator can revoke access to specific libraries or documents from specific authorized users. All file access permissions for specific users are automatically revoked if the system administrator revokes their authorization to access the system. These acceptance criteria are written from the perspective of the user. They are also testable. They link the user story to behavior and performance requirements specified in the corporate security policy mentioned in the NFR. It is quite common for people engaged in sponsoring, managing, and developing software systems to misunderstand NFRs and struggle in applying them to Agile requirements management. User stories make mapping of system-level NFRs to functional requirements easier. Acceptance criteria link functional requirements to tests that demonstrate satisfaction of NFRs. Coupled with frequent integrations and regression testing, this approach to NFRs ensures the delivery of expected system behavior to customers and end users. What difficulties have you or your team experienced in dealing with NFRs in Agile projects? What other techniques have you tried? Leave a comment and share your thoughts. Want to learn more? Head to the Agile Cheetah website at agilecheetah.com for in-depth research articles and videos on all things Agile and DevOps. You can also follow us on our LinkedIn and Facebook pages and on Twitter. Again, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please click on the like icon, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell notification icon to ensure you won't miss anything. Thank you. Until next time, this has been Frank Velazquez with Agile Cheetah.